Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Rytan number MA380 micro adjustable stylus. Use your old stylus. This is a reference to what part that you're going to use. Very handy handy tool. A mandatory part of your key cutter. There is a link below this video to a document called Master Operation and Manual Index that's going to allow you, it's going to act basically as the parts manual for the cutter that this is off of. And let's take a closer look at that right now. Actually waiting for that document to come up, so let's take some basic dimensional properties. Overall length of the solid portion, about 2.5. Diameter of the adjustment wheel, looks like it's about 1 9/16. Width, about 1/2 inch. Thickness, about 3/8 of an inch. That spring is held on there by that tie, which you require. Okay, let's pull up that manual and take a look at the parts drawing. This item is used on the RY200, the micro adjustable stylus. I own an RY200 and I've used this. Power flickering here. Typical Florida. Okay, so the RY200 key duplicator. The RY200 is based on the RY100 machine with a new cutter wheel, 4-way vice draws, and is equipped with this micro adjust stylus. And you can adjust your stylus to better than 1 or 2 thousandths of an inch at any time, and your machine can be returned to its original position just as fast. There is a parts manual down below here as well for the RY100 and 200. The RY200 does show a reference to the adjustable stylus assembly, and that document appears to be a bit out of date, the RY200, because they're coming up with a different part number. Let's see if the manufacturer's website has a more up-to-date parts manual. Okay, so we don't have an updated parts manual, and that MA380 is not sure where that part is coming from, but in the RY200 you're going to have the ability to very elegantly adjust your stylus from where, the stylus, your cutter, your carriage, and bring your keys into... Speaking from actual experience, I can tell you that on the RY200 that you can dial the accuracy in so close that you will find that your key is marginally too deep. When I say marginally, I mean microscopically. And why you would even proceed to try to back that off is only because you are that sort of person. You then adjust it. You find that it is the same amount, too shallow, and you go back and you bounce between those two. And what I've discovered, not what I've discovered, but what I've come to realize is I'm really, at that point, just revealing the difference in the true shape of the cutter wheel itself. No cutter wheel is perfectly round, and I, at that point, can just then expose the imperfection and the constant radius dimension or diameter of the wheel. Now there is the manual that's here. Let's take a closer look at it. Key gauge adjustment is on page ought to be on page 15. Let's take a look. I need to pull out my owner's manual of my RY200 to find where the depth adjustment was discussed, and then I of course found it online. Page 11, I believe, of the manual. Okay, yeah, my document is not the same as what's online. This machine is a couple of years old. looking at the manual that's online, I'll just put mine away. Page 12, depth adjustment. You're going to loosen those two screws that will be very clearly on top of the mounting block. And again, you're going to retain your stylus that you have. Read the manual. I had talked about the inconsistency of the diameter of a cutter. It's also, every key that you cut is going to be marginally different in thickness as well. So as you loosen the two screws, your adjustable stylus is what will be rotated to affect the distance between the stylus and the cutter and your carriage. And what they want you to have is a piece of paper, 1 inch by 4 inch, 2 identical key blanks, measure blade width with micrometer or dial calipers and select 2 that match. Before you begin, please make sure both vice jaws are in the A configuration. Depth is adjusted by moving the stylus forward or backward by means of an adjustment dial located on the back of the stylus. Secure the 2 matched key blanks, 1 in each jaw. Clamp the keys into the vice jaws with about a 32nd of an inch gap between the bottom shoulder of the key and the left side edge of the vice jaws. Do not bottom shoulder the keys into the vices. There may be a small radius on in the corner of the key blank's blade in the bottom shoulder area. Yeah, the bottom of a key blank may not be perfectly flat. Clamping in this area may angle the key blank in the vise and throw off your adjustment by allowing you to cut too shallow near the head of the key. Let's move on. As the installation instructions go on, they talk about having the stylus projected such that the cutter wheel doesn't make contact with the blade, and then you insert a piece of paper between the cutter wheel and that blade, and you adjust your depth such that you start to make contact with the paper, and then at that point you make very micro adjustments to get it all dialed in. Yeah, sure, the reason for the piece of paper is you don't need to get so far as to start cutting the key to realize you're cutting too deep, and that little piece of paper, however thick that is, will allow you to start very accurately when you then move to finally dial it in. And that's detailed there on page 11, 12, and 13, really 12 and 13 for the most part. Okay. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Rytan products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Rytan? This is their part number MA380 micro adjustable stylus for the RY200 key machine or any other Rytan product. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.